Shalom, shalom. Before I begin this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and blessings be multiplied on all you brethren out there preaching his word in all sincerity and in truth. It's the brother Damal Gabar here with another lesson, Lord willing to edify and give you warning from Yahweh by Yahweh Shai. Now, I don't know if this is going to be a very long lesson, but, I was just reading a bunch of articles today and just, standing upon my watch and just looking out, looking at different news that was being presented today. And one thing that struck me was that, I'm just speaking as a man, but I do believe that this man is going to, his next form of lockdown is going to be using climate change. We know that he has other, so-called pandemics planned. We know he has, different biological man-made weaponry that he can use to spread fear and, paranoia all around the earth in forms of another lockdown. But I really believe that he's going to go in the route of using this climate change as something major to, lock down society again and ultimately to bring in this new world order. This is one of the key moves he's going to use to bring in this new world order is this whole climate change thing. What do they call it? As part of the World Economic Forum's fourth industrial revolution is the thing called sustainability. Them using this excuse that people are burning too much fossil fuels, cows farting, all these different, things that are happening, man's consumption and carbon, all these things are having such an effect on the earth that is heating up so fast that, they have to get it under control. And a huge part of that is sustainability, which is ultimately reducing your ability to consume resources and to burn fossil fuels and to fill up your cars, eating meat, farming, electricity, all these different things that people are leaving a carbon footprint is causing the earth to heat up and causing all of these extremes on the planet Earth. And this is one of the things that I believe, speaking as a man, he's going to use as a huge driver to bring in more lockdown. So I got, just all these articles that I'm going to show you, I was reading today, and it's constantly, they're pushing this thing in everybody's face. Extreme weather, climate change, heat, weather, flooding, all these different things as a means to, bring in this NWO. So I got a couple precepts. This is just more about me showing you how they're constantly putting this in your face about this extreme weather. And that is all a result of, man having too much access to, resources in the earth, and that it needs to be sustained. And ultimately, basically it's going to boil down to it's too many people here on the planet Earth. Everybody's carbon footprint needs to be reduced, and a huge part of that is going to be by reducing the population, reducing farms, cows, things that are causing the earth to so-called heat up. And a huge part of that is getting rid of a lot of you people, a lot of you useless eater, a lot of you people that don't have no value are consuming too much of this earth's resources, and they need to get it under control. So I'm gonna skip around these different articles, but I'm just gonna show you, how they're pushing this mainstream narrative about this. So this is the first one from ABC News. It says heat, flooding, and smoke. The U.S. is in the midst of a summer of extremes. It says this year's events have yet to be thoroughly analyzed, but scientists see the string of events as part of a larger, undeniable pattern of extremes that's intensifying over time. And they're going to tell you just how these extremes are being, how they believe that they're happening. So let's look at this real fast.
Local governor, upstate New York, obviously very hard hit by these historic storms. What's the latest on the recovery? How bad was it?
It was so bad. Talk about storms, and then there's a 1,000-year event, which is extraordinary. I walked the streets. I held hands and hugged people who were weeping because their basements had been destroyed, and pictures of babies and the wedding pictures were washing down the street. It was horrible. It's so painful.
And you see, this is them trying to, tug at the heartstrings of, the people. It's so bad. It's so catastrophic. We need to get this under control. It's only going to get worse and worse. And, getting these simple-minded people to, be emotionally invested in this, because well, we need to get this under control. And then guess what? This is just more of the order out of the chaos. They're going to come with an answer, and they're going to come with a solution to all this, and it's going to come at the reduction of a lot of you people here on the earth, and your reduction of consuming resources. So let me play this. I'll shut up.
Now, New York Governor Kathy Hochul, governor upstate New York, obviously very hard hit by these historic storms. What's the latest on the recovery? How bad was it?
It was so bad. Talk about storms, then there's a 1,000-year event, which is extraordinary. I walked the streets. I held hands and hugged people who were weeping because their basements had been destroyed, and pictures of babies and the wedding pictures were washing down the street. It was horrible and so painful. And the sad part is it's coming back again. And so there's this sense of exhaustion. And New York has had storms before. I had 2 hurricanes my first week as governor. We've had record snowfall in Buffalo, and that's 7 feet of snow. But this is unrelenting. And so we're in the recovery mode, but also preparing for the next phase.
Oh my God.
We literally just opened up Amtrak and Metro North trains that have been shut down. It was going to take about a week or so. We got it done in 3 days. I hope we don't have boulders and debris and landslides on the tracks again. So that's what's in store for us.
I know Vermont got hit really hard. How much of the state was impacted? Will they see federal relief?
Well, we certainly will. You have to hit a threshold of over $35 million of damage. We hit that easily. And I spoke to the governor of Vermont yesterday. Ironically, we had a national governors meeting, and he was supposed to lead the panel on dealing with disasters and climate events, and he was trapped in Vermont trying to deal with his
See?
So all the governors.
And that's where it is. Climate events. All right. It's always going to be climate this, climate that. And they're going to tell you exactly why. They're going to tell you why these things are happening. They're not, looking at it as this is judgment from Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You shall be visited of the Lord of hosts with fire, earthquakes, destroying winds, fire. They're not looking at this as judgment from on high for the wickedness that is in the society, but these devils are going to spin it and use it to their advantage to bring in their NWO. And a huge part of it is going to be climate change. All right. So let me show you this. It says the word of the summer is extreme. You see, that's the word of the summer, extreme. It says extreme flooding, extreme heat, extreme smoke. And why are these things are happening? Because you people are the problem. You're destroying the earth, your carbon footprint, your use of fossil fuels, you filling up your cars, you eating meat, you having air conditioning, you breathing, you just existing is the problem. It says scientists have predicted a climate of extremes in reports after report as the earth warms because humans continue to belch fossil fuels pollution into the atmosphere. You see, this is happening because you people, because of the average citizen out here, you useless eaters, you're using too much stuff. You're burning too much fossil fuels. You're barbecuing on your barbecue grill. You're out here just existing and breathing. You're destroying the earth. You see, it has nothing to do with all of the wickedness. These devils, companies, they're polluting of the earth. They're geoengineering. They're polluting of the seas. None of these things are a factor, but it's humans. All right. You people, basically. It says, and now it's here with a dizzying slew of broken records and heartbreaking scenes. The images, a smoky Central Park in Sepia, kayaks floating on the streets of Montpelier, Vermont, and packed cooling centers in Arizona still provide a shock even for those expecting them. All of this is entirely consistent with that greenhouse gas warming does and is in line with the trend we expect. Ben, whatever, a professor in the Earth and Planetary Science departments at it's always Johns Hopkins, man. See, look, Johns Hopkins University is a major hub of sorcery and witchcraft for these devils. They always use Johns Hopkins University, as the pinnacle of science and the so-called the experts. They always throw in Johns Hopkins University, which that's a major hub of witchcraft and sorcery and witches and warlocks. All right. So whenever you hear Johns Hopkins University in one of these articles, just know they're up to no good, man. It says, said of the extreme events, there's something that feels surprisingly emotionally surprising when you see these happenings with increasing frequency and severity. Researchers have not yet calculated how much climate change has altered the odds of the specific weather events causing disruptions this summer, but scientists see the fingerprints of climate change sizzling across the landscape this summer, and it's playing out like a car wreck from which you can't look away. The events have roiled communities in almost every region of North America, taking lives, damaged homes, and stolen the simple pleasures of summer. You see? Salakia. Thank you. You see, so this is what they're going to be showing you all summer. Oh, look, tugging at the heartstrings, you know? What does it say? Earth has had its hottest recorded days for average global temperatures earlier this month, which some scientists think is a signal that El Nino is taking hold and boosting temperatures on top of background warming from climate change. What does they say? Sea surface temperatures have been record hot since mid-March. A prolonged marine blah, 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 blah. You see, Canada saw more acreage burned this year by wildfires, which there have always been fires in the summertime, you know. But here it is, you know, I live out here in California, and it's so dry out here, you know, and then supposedly a couple months back, you know, we had all that rain came, and all these lakes that were low, they all got filled. They all got, you know, back up to reservoir good levels. You know, when you drive out here on the freeways and you drive out here across the landscape, they don't be watering this shit. You know, they don't be, now that so-called, you know, all that rain that came filled up all the lakes and the rivers. How come they're not using that water to, you know, to water this vegetation so that it's not so dry anymore, man? It's basically a goddamn sitting tinderbox. And one little thing, just yesterday they had, out here where I live, they had a big-ass fire, you know, because that shit out there is so dry. They don't water it. They don't have no sprinkler systems. They don't maintain it and upkeep it. You know, so it's like, you know, a lot of this shit is all being orchestrated. A lot of this shit, you know, could be easily taken care of, but they don't take care of it because they have an agenda at the end of the day. So what does it say? Canada saw more acreage burned this year by more wildfires. Canada's wildfires twice have sent smoke pouring into the U.S. A Stanford University analyst found that it was worst year of wildfire smoke, blah, blah, blah. A heat wave centered on South Texas, which has always been fucking hot in Texas. I mean, come on, man. It's Texas. It's always been hot like that, you know? But now they're trying to say, oh, it's been above. Oh, it's this. Oh, it's that. What does it say? Heavy precipitation pounded the Northeast. See, so it says the bilk melt of California snowpack flooded more than 110,000 acres of premium farmland in California. Sinking tractors, electrical equipment, and farmhouses. A dozen atmospheric river storms built a snowpack roughly 3 times as large as is typical this winter. You see? So they're going to use all these things that naturally happen, and they're going to, you know, exaggerate it, man. They're going to give you all these reasons why all these things are happening, and it's all because you people are doing too much. You people need to be sustained. You know, the consumption, you know, production, all these things need to be sustained. They need to come with a new way of doing it because it's so-called destroying the earth. It says what Phoenix officials says they were frightened for unsheltered residents as the city reported its 13th day above 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Whereas Arizona has always been goddamn hot, man. You know, and it is the summertime, you know. It says in recent years, scientists have performed attribution studies to determine just how improbable a weather event would have been in the cooler climates of the past. Scientists determined a June 2021 heat wave in the Pacific Northwest would have been virtually impossible if not for the impacts of climate change. You see, so we see what these devils are doing, man. And this is just one of the tools that these devils are going to use to bring in more lockdowns, man. They're going to use climate change as a major way to do it. And, you know, they could easily, you know, say, oh, it's so hot, the power grid went down, and leave everybody in sweltering heat for about 2 weeks or a week and a half or however long, you know, without electricity, without power, and sweat and be out here thirsty and dry as hell. And then, you know, turn it back on and be like, look, this is all because of climate change. We need to get this under control. You know, we're going to have to start locking down and really, you know, limiting your access to these different things until we can get it under control. You know, you see? And this is what these devils are doing, man. You see? What's this here? It says, see? So, see what these devils are doing, man. And they're going to keep harping upon this, man, because they're all looking to have sustainability. You see? Let me show you these other different articles I got. Look at this. This is from AP. It says, people and pets seek shade and cool as Europe sizzles under heat wave that's only going to get worse. You see? Blah, blah, blah. Let's see. In Italy, oh, it's so hot. Oh, it's beyond hot, you know. What else? Talking about tourism. In the Czechs, temperatures soared to a new high. Temperatures were milder in Spain's Canary Islands, but wildfire, Turkey, all this shit, everywhere. Europe, America, oh, it's so dry, it's so hot. We're getting tore up out here. What does it say? Heat storm stretches into southern Europe. You see? And they're pulling this crap everywhere, See? Which I'm not going to read all these, but I'm just showing you, all these were from today. Look, Phoenix breaks daily high temperatures with 100. It's always hot as hell in Arizona, man. You see? Excessive heat warnings, This is all part of their agenda, man. Hell, and watch this. Let me get this precept first, and I'm going to show you this. This is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices, you see. And we know that one of his devices to bring in this NWO is this whole climate change fiasco. And they're going to continue to harp on it, and they're going to continue to throw that word. Remember, the word of the summer is extreme, all right? And we know why they say it's being caused, because of you people. There's too many people on the planet Earth consuming too many of the Earth resources, and the Earth can't keep up. The Earth is dying. Well, here it is. The Earth was made to be an eternal resource, man. The Lord said to be fruitful and multiply. It's not that the people are consuming too much. It's just the people that are in control of it are destroying this Earth. Like I said, all your geoengineering, all of your... Matter of fact, let me get that, man. Here we go. This is Isaiah chapter 24, verse 5. It says, the earth also is defiled under the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. You see, therefore have the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burned, and few men left. You see, that's the problem. The earth is defiled. Let's read this in a different translation. See what the NLT says. It says, the earth suffers for the sins of his people, for they have twisted God's instructions, violated his laws, and broken his everlasting covenants. You see? And now who's at the helm of a rulership over the earth is Esau Edom, and he is not a proper steward of the earth. Like I said, all of his wickedness, all of his manipulating, all of his destroying of the earth is having these negative effects on the earth. And now he has the audacity to say that all of this climate change and rising temperatures and floods and, the changing of the earth is happening because people are consuming too much of the resources of this planet Earth. You see, he's always looking to put the blame on everybody else except himself. Now, if he had, operate this earth the way that the Lord said that you should do it, then there wouldn't be such a problem, man. Look at all of his things that he's done in the earth that is causing the negative effects in the earth. He's like I said, you got chemtrails, all heavy metals all in the air. The soil is destroyed. Whales are beaching themselves. Deforestation, chopping down all these trees, doing all these different things that he is doing. That's not the reason why, but he's putting the blame on all of you people and your cars that you're driving that he created and that he built. The fossil fuels and gas that you're burning off that he created and that he's making billions and billions of dollars off of is not the problem, but it's you people that are using it and not consuming it. So therefore, it all needs to be, it all needs to be managed better. He needs to come and have sustainable, management of these resources. And like I said, a huge part of that is getting rid of a lot of you people. Now watch this, man. It says, reduce population. Kamala Harris verbal slip up corrected by White House. This cackling cunt. It says, when President Joe Biden and I took office, we set an ambitious goal to cut our greenhouse gas emissions in half by 2030 and reach net zero emissions by 2050. You see, and this is why climate change is a huge part of their agenda. They want to cut back emissions, man. Let's look up this word emissions. Let's look it up. Emissions. It says the production and discharge of something, especially gas or radiation, you see? So it's basically whatever you're using, whether it's electricity, whether it's, fossil fuels, everything that you use on a day-to-day basis that emits some type of so-called carbon, into the atmosphere. They want to reduce all of that. And guess what? Every person on this planet produces carbon. Every time you breathe in and you breathe out, you're emitting something into the atmosphere, which they are saying is causing all of this extremes. And therefore, if they want to cut emissions in half, guess what? They want to get rid of half of the population. This stupid cut says that. What they call it, a Freudian slip, if I'm using that word right. But no, this is what they truly plan to do. It says, when we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, let's hear it say it, watch.
When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water.
See, and they're ultimately saying that that's not happening now because there's too many people. Too many people are clogging up, the cleanness of this earth. So therefore, a huge part of their agenda is to get rid of half you people. You see? And now it says what? It says, according to the official transcript, the 58-year-old vice president meant to say pollution, not population. Well, those words in the eyes of these elites are interchangeable because they look at you people as pollution. They look at you people as useless eaters, useless consumers of all of the earth resources. Remember, Bill Gates had that TED Talk where he said a huge part of them cutting carbon emissions and cutting off a huge part of it is cutting off a lot of you people out here, man. You see? It says what? Clean up on Kamala. It says in wokeness, says the White House is doing damage control after Kamala spilled the beans about the climate agenda. When we invest in clean energy and electric vehicles and reduce population, more of our children can breathe clean air and drink clean water. Why? Because they want to get rid of half of you people. Remember, that was what was on the Georgia Guidestones, is to reduce population. You see? It says Environmental Protection Agency's $20 billion investment program across two grant competitions under the Biden administration Greenhouse Gas Reduction Fund that aims to spark clean energy investments across the country. After clips of Ms. Harris' verbal miscue emerged online, social media users and a number of Republican figures seized on the error to suggest the Biden administration was publicly calling to reduce the population in the United States, which they do. That's a huge part of these elites. We're not stupid. That's why I read that in Corinthians. We're not ignorant to his devices. And look at this. It says abortion, assisted suicide, or what means are you suggesting to reduce population in order to help public health? You see? And that's what a lot of these things are all about. All these abortion clinics, they're all a form of population control. And now, especially over there in Canada, they have this huge things called, what was it? Was it MAPS? Yeah, MAPS. It's called Medical Assistance and no, not MAPS. It's an acronym, but it's called Medical Assistance in Suicide. They're doing this in Canada, to where you have people who are all depressed, who are all, don't want to live no more. They basically are giving them the ability to take their own lives, man, which is another form of population control. It says, are you the population she wants to reduce? Kamala Harris admits she wants to reduce the population for environmental reasons. Ohio State Senator Michael Royal said in a post on Twitter, that's not just anti-American, that's anti-human. Well, that's the goal of the elites. It says, just the CEO Elon Musk also commented on the vice president mix-up of the phrase tweeting, we need to increase population. You see, this is a DC Drano. Kamala just said that reducing population is a goal of the climate change movement. They aren't hiding it anymore. You are the carbon they want to eliminate. See, that's what I said. You're the carbon because we all emit things. Like I said, every time you breathe in and breathe out, you're emitting carbon. So therefore, they want to get rid of half of you people. Now they're not gonna come out blatantly and say that. Which she had that slip up, but that's what they truly want to do. You see, look at this. This is from that's her. Huh? Oh. Yeah, that's her. You see? And this is ultimately what they planning on doing. So you can't be ignorant to Satan advice. This whole shit about climate change and reducing emissions, a huge part of that is reducing you people. which is why, they have different means of doing that. Abortion. They had the taco sauce. That was another part of this thing, and them trying to reduce emissions and bring in clean energy and doing all these things. In order for them to be successful in that, they have to get rid of a lot of you people. So you're not consuming and using up all of these resources, man. So you can't be ignorant to Satan devices, man. So this whole environmental protection agency thing is nothing more than a nice way of saying get rid of the majority of you people, man. Get rid of a lot of you useless eaters, man. All right. Let me get this last precept, and I'm going to roll out of here. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 12, verse... I'll start here. I'm going to jump down. This is Ecclesiastes 12:20. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. So you can't trust this man on any level or on anything. He's bringing in this fourth industrial revolution, and a huge part of it is getting rid of a lot of you useless people out here. So that and when she says so our children can bring clean air and drink clean water, she's not talking about everybody on this planet Earth. She's talking about the children of these elites and those that are of a higher social status, man. It's by getting rid of all you cockroaches, man. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hast wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust have not been altogether wiped away. You see, like her, she's giving this speech, she's making it sound like she's all humble. She's coming in her little business suit with her ugly smile, but she's coming as if she's coming to help you, man. She's coming nice. She's dressed nice, but it said take good heed, man. And even though they're over here doing a damage control, what she said was 100% accurate. That's a part of the goal. I'm going to jump down to here. This is verse 13. It says, who would pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beasts? So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pity, right? So you're going to have a lot of these dumbass people out here believing this crap and eating it up. And they're going to sign themselves up into this whole climate agenda and saying, yeah, we got to reduce emissions. We got to do this. We got to do that. Little do you know, you're signing up for your own destruction, man. You see? It says, I'm going to jump down to 16. It says, an enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. And this whole climate change that the Biden administration and all these different, the World Economic Forum and all these countries around the earth are signing up and investing in is ultimately a way to throw you people into a pit and to get rid of a huge, large part of the population, man. You see, and they even got this other shit. I forget the name of it, but basically what they're trying to do is when they get rid of a lot of these people, when they come with this depop agenda, there's going to be a lot of people they got to get rid of. They sign deals to where they can turn you into this bio sludge that they're going to use to to basically after you die, they can just put you into this machine that's going to turn you into bio sludge, where they could use you to be spread over farms and to be, used as compost or some shit like that, man. So these devils already have an agenda in place once they get rid of a huge population of you. So they ain't got to bury you and put you in graves or put you in the earth. They're going to turn you into some type of sludge and some type of, liquid so that they could farm and, farm crops, man. Use you as compost. So this man has a huge, wicked, nasty agenda, man. It says, he will weep with his eyes, but if he findeth opportunity, he will not be satisfied with blood. If adversity come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. Right. And they're going to bring this climate change, when they cut off the power, when they start really, bringing this thing to pass, when all hell is breaking loose, they're going to come first. They're going to come with the answer. They're going to come with the order out of the chaos, man. It says, and though he pretend to help thee, yet he shall undermine thee. You see? And this whole climate shit is a way that he's going to undermine you people, man. This is not to help you. This is not to put you in a better place. And this is to get rid, like this guy right here said, DC Drano. It says, reducing population is the goal of the climate change movement. They are not hiding it anymore. You are the carbon they want to eliminate. True evil. So though he pretend to help thee, he's pretending to help you. This ain't to better the earth, to save the planet. It's to get rid of the non-desirables, man. And you useless eaters. All right. They want to eliminate you from even breathing on this planet Earth because you're stinking up the so-called elite's air, man. So I just want to go into that real quick. Lord willing, I wasn't all over the place, but hey, you can't be ignorant, man. We see what this devil is doing. So when you see shit like this, you got to know exactly what the true agenda of it really is. It's always the opposite of what they say. You see? And they're looking to cut you people off, man. They don't want you to have air conditioning. They don't want you to be driving in cars. They don't want you to have freedom to travel. They don't want to see you at these, nice resorts that they have built for themselves, seeing the useless eaters frequenting and walking around there and stinking up the place, man. They want your ass they want you to be in a slave's place eventually. So, hey, I just want to go into that. Like I said, Lord willing, I wasn't all over the place. Lord willing, you were edified. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and the glory to Yahweh Bashem and Shai, putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Until the next one, shalom.